Hello, Maverick Currency traders. This is Rob. It is July 15th. It was kind of a quiet looking day in the market, but I'm telling you, a lot of things changed and I'm excited to get into it. In this session, we're going to be going over the news of the day. We're going to talk about what happened. I see a pretty big pullback on the horizon coming in equities, which I think is going to sweep through all of the markets, meaning that we are going from risk on to risk off.
All trades and analysis in this video are intended for professional traders only. This content does not constitute financial advice and is for educational purposes. This video is being released after a short delay due to Compliance Department review. Maverick members receive this content immediately as part of their daily trading resources. If you're ready to level up, consider joining Maverick Currencies. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits. You bring the skill, we provide the backing. Let's get into today's market recap and see how the pros are trading the currency markets.
All right, I want to go into some market analysis here. Let's start off with the news of the day. And I kind of want to paint the picture for how this day worked out. The futures were trading up about 1/3% overnight. Things were strong. And then we got the morning, we got some news. The US CPI was mixed. What I mean by mixed is that the headline number was supposed to be 0.2. It came in above at 0.3. The core number was supposed to be 0.3. It came in at 0.2. So mixed. We also got Canadian CPI, came in a little bit hotter than expected. The markets were still up. And actually, all of the chip stocks like NVIDIA were soaring. NVIDIA hit a new all-time high. It was up about 8% pre-market. Everything looked really good this morning. And then the markets tumbled all day long and closed at the lows. So if you take a look at the numbers, we're going to take a look at these numbers. The numbers don't look that bad, but when you look under the surface, we had 3 out of every 4 stocks going down. Here is a heat map of what the market looked like. If you take out all the big tech names, you can see if everything was down, especially like in healthcare. There was a lot of damage done all over the place. We also got the 10-year US government bond yields back up to the high of the range between 4.2 and 4.55, 4.6. We're back to the high of that range, and so the dollar is strengthening. I see a potential day or two of trouble here for equities. I think we're going to get a little bit of a tumble here in equities over the next couple of days. I fed some data into AI and basically looked at the next 3 days heading into monthly options exercision. If you were to take a look at all of these days over the past 2 years, all 3 of these days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, are all average on down days. And then the Monday and Tuesday of next week are all heavily biased to the bullish side. So we got everything coming in. I think we're going to get a little bit of a sell-off. And we saw the dollar strengthen and we saw the yen fall. But we'll take a look at this yen. We love the yen short. That was our number 1 trade for the week, was yen short. It's been working great. But remember, if there is a tumble in equities, then that risk off move should help the yen move higher. So again, dollar yen has by far been the best trading pair. I've been talking about dollar yen, just trading dollar yen and ignoring pretty much everything else. We also saw the CAD get strong. I think the CAD is looking great as well. We like the pound to the short side. You can see basically flat. If you take out everything but dollar, CAD, and yen, it was untradeable today. You really need to be in the right place in Forex. Everything down across the board today. Crypto pulling back, but it wasn't too bad in crypto. Ethereum and Litecoin are likely to end up for the day. But you can see 2% pullbacks in Bitcoin to bring that down. The positive backdrop for crypto has actually gone. It's no longer there. This low volatility, slowly creeping higher market, really helpful for crypto, but not anymore. With that being said, I am not bearish in any way, shape, or form. I'm just really concerned about the next 3 days in equities. If you take a look at these charts, we had this nice high base. Everything's looking good. We gap up to new highs. And you can see by the end of the day, we've lost everything and more, and we actually have a bearish engulfing candle. At this point, we typically see, if it closes on the low, we typically see some carry through. And so it's not just this candle, but it's also the monthly options exercision data that I talked about. how this Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday have been very weak every single month going into these days. We had this big reversal. We've got the bond yield spiking. I see a little bit of a recipe here for a really nice pullback in equities, which gives us some good opportunities in the currency markets. If we take a look at the calendar for tomorrow, we've got inflation out of the UK, we've got the PPI out of the US, and we've got employment change out of Australia. So if you're trading any of these currencies, definitely make sure that you know that these news reports are coming out and make sure that your stops are in place for them. Let's run through all the charts real quick to get our velocity scores so we can know where to hunt. The only crypto I'm going to talk about here is Ethereum. Ethereum is bucking the trend. It looks really good on an individual basis. Ethereum looks fantastic. We're getting a nice little high base breakout. Here's the problem. Remember, we like to trade with the winds at our back. So we like to see equities strengthening. We like to see all the other cryptos strengthening to tell us that this breakout likely has some legs to it. Now look, it might do it all by itself. Ethereum might do it all by itself, but when you take a look at Bitcoin, you take a look at Bitcoin Cash, all of a sudden now you see that Ethereum is really on its own. It's got its own individual strength and it could make it push out to new highs, but the best moves come when all of the wind is at your back. And right now, there's a lot of wind in your face. So I do like Ethereum on a chart. I think it looks great, but I'm not going to take this trade because this is when breakouts fail a lot, is when you have a great chart, it breaks out, but there's nothing pushing it. There's no big trend into the sector. There's no big trend into cryptos in general. It's just this one thing. So I don't like it here. I like the chart individually, but I don't like the setup at all. Let's jump over to Forex. And here we have yen. All right, so yen overnight was a great short. Great short, and you can see we've got some green candles now. We'll have to wait and see what happens with yen here. It's looking very weak. It doesn't look like it's bouncing much, but if we do get a sell-off, you are going to see that buying come into the yen. You'll also see it coming into the Swiss franc. We said the Swiss franc weaken a little bit and start to bounce. But as you can see here, there's really nothing to trade. This is not a tradable area on Swiss franc. It just isn't. And on yen, it's really tradable only to the downside until we see an uptrend form. But if we take a look at dollar, you can see here dollar is clearly moving higher. Dollar long looks to be the play here. Also, CAD long looks to be the play as well. And frankly, I like the CAD much better than the dollar. So my favorite trade for the next 24 hours is long CAD, number 2, long dollar. But the question is what to short. If the markets tumble, I don't like yen and I don't like Swiss franc on the short side. So now we're looking at, okay, well, where is the weakness here? We could come in here to the euro. You can see that we did not make a new swing high. We take a look, we've been moving up for higher highs, higher lows. We pulled back and we failed. So euro looks like an okay short. I don't want to call this a great short. I mean, moving average is basically flat. We have, RSI basically flat. I don't love it, but it is a possibility. Here is the pound. The pound looks much better as a short here. And actually, we've got this nice little 2 or 3 candle pop here to sell into. So for me, pound here is much better than the euro or the Swiss franc. Come over here to Aussie. I have no desire to short Aussie. I have also no desire to go long Aussie at this point. I come to Kiwi. You can see Kiwi is looking weak as well. So if we put pound number 1, Kiwi number 2, that really tells us where to hunt. Right now, pound and Kiwi are not super bearish, but they're in the bearish category. And we got dollar and CAD on the long side. I think these are going to be the pairings here. Dollar against the pound and Kiwi, and CAD against the pound and Kiwi as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of those possible setups. My favorite trade here is pound CAD, and you can see it is a one-way train. It's a one-way train. The question is, where is it going to stop? We do have some support down here at 183.20, so that's about 40 pips away. So look, I think there's 2 plays here. You either get in now and understand that there's likely to be a bounce at 183.20, which you're just fine with because you think it's going to fizzle out and go lower, or you wait till that 183.20, hope and pray it gets a bounce or a base that you can sell into and doesn't just plunge through it and break away. I personally like just taking the position here, having a stop up here, just follow your regular stop at maybe, 184.50, and then move it down as it starts to work for you. So this is my favorite trade setup here, pound CAD. Let's also take a look at Kiwi dollar. So Kiwi dollar short, you can see here, makes a lot of sense. We've just been breaking down. This thing's just been going down and down. We just had a big plunge, getting a little bit of a bounce, but look at this bounce. This is an anemic bounce. There's no money coming in here. This is just a base. So I like this one to the downside. It might even pop up here in the 59.6, but I think this bounce is so anemic. I think you're going to get a breakdown of 59.40. I like just getting into it here, giving yourself some time to wait. It's only Tuesday, so you've got the rest of the week to let this thing base and then fall for you. I like Kiwi dollar as well. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. I've really been talking a lot for the last 3 weeks about dollar yen being the best trading currency, just because it's having the biggest moves. If we get a sell-off, I think the dollar goes higher and I think the yen goes higher. I do not think it's a good trade from this point on if there's a sell-off. I just don't think it is. If there's no sell-off, I love it. I still love it long on dollar yen. But if there's a sell-off, I don't want to go there. I want to go to something like pound dollar or Kiwi dollar. I think that's where the trade's going to be if we do get a sell-off. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Take care. Goodbye, everyone.